Hey, what's up? It's Joel with the Traveler Toolkit, and as you can see, the sun is making an appearance in February, no less, and we have some warm weather for the next few days. So I'm taking full advantage. We're going out on the first trip of the season. It might be a little cold tonight, but we are prepared. We got all the gear, and we'll talk about all the gear we're using a little later in this video, but we are hitching up the little Venturist XS with our rooftop tent on top, heading down to Shawnee State Park in the Shawnee State Forest. It's also right on a lake, so we're gonna do some camping, we're gonna do some cooking, we're gonna do some hiking, and we're gonna have fun through all of it. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get hitched up and let's hit the road. Okay, so we've got a little drive ahead of us, a couple hours to do on the road, but it is an absolutely stunning February day. The car thermometer says it's 55 degrees. I think we're gonna top out over 60 today, so we can definitely get some beautiful hiking in. And the cool part is there's not a lot of foliage on the trees right now, so we can see a lot of the hills and ridges that are in the Shawnee State Park area. So we'll be checking that out. But the overnight lows, I think, are gonna stay warm enough to where I won't freeze to death. We're gonna see how that goes, because overnight tent camping for me is a new thing in the cold weather. Like I said a few videos back, I'm trying to do more of that this year on these shoulder seasons, and when we get to the campsite, you'll see why, because there's absolutely no one there enjoying it right now. So we'll have it all to ourselves. So let's keep going, and I'll let you know when we get there. All right, so we are here, and this place still has a lot of snow on the ground, but there is absolutely no one here. And while I'm driving back to the campsite, I just want to say a quick thank you to all the new viewers here on the channel. All of you who are leaving your comments down below, keep it coming. I want to hear more. Tell me where I should go in this series. State parks, national parks, just places of interest around you where I can get outdoors. I want to know where you think I should be going so we can head there together. Leave it in a comment down below. Okay, I think I've found the perfect spot over here. Right here on top of the hill, we have the only open restroom, which is important. But look at this spot right here. Look at this spot. Right down here by a creek. And then there's a bridge right there that I think leads to a lot of the trails we're going to be hiking this weekend. So let's go ahead and set up camp right here. We'll get things started, and we'll have a nice place to do some cooking and have a fire later tonight. You know, I'm so impressed with this spot. I want to make sure you know which one it is. This is campsite number 85. I'm at the Turkey Creek Campground in Shawnee State Park, and I'm going to walk you down here and show you why I'm so impressed with this. It is a little cooler down by the creek, which could come into play later tonight as things get cold. You can tell, hasn't seen a lot of sun, but look at what is right behind me. So, I mean, there's the spot. And here is this creek. You just don't find campsites that are this accessible to awesome running water. And again, I'm right there. I'm like 200 feet from this. So, gosh, I could just sit down here and listen to this all day. But let's go ahead and get some of our gear unpacked, and then we will head further down this trail, because this is a part of, I think, the Park Loop Trail, which we're gonna hike today. Okay, so I'm not going to unpack everything right now because we're going to be walking away from the campsite, but I do want to talk about some of the gear that I brought with me, and that's kind of the hope in these videos. We'll talk about gear we brought with us, and then every trip will have a featured piece of gear. So our featured piece of gear on this trip is this bad boy right here. This is the Citi Chef from, I think it's called Kadak or Kadak. It's a really cool propane grill that also breaks down to just a burner, but has a griddle on top. We're gonna do some cooking tonight. I brought some locally harvested venison from our property that we're gonna be cooking on this a little bit later, but you can see it kind of goes in this nice little portable pack with this handle on top. So this is our featured product for this trip. I also brought with me the UD Power S1200. This is just in case we need to use our warming blankets tonight in the tent because it might get a little bit cold. I also brought some new packs. These are from Gregory Mountain. I got these a while back and I was struggling to figure out how to use them, but now I see. These are fully waterproof and I'm really impressed with how they've worked so far. This one, we've just got our MyMedic MyFac first aid kit. Carry that with me almost everywhere I go. I've got my food, wet wipes, things like that in this one, but I also have a little 10-inch skillet. Gonna be cooking some good food tonight. I do want to go ahead and get out my pack. This is the Kelty double wide sleeping bag that we reviewed a couple weeks ago. Hopefully it's gonna be keeping us warm in here tonight. We are going to need it, along with the Ignic topside heated blanket. I've also brought a regular heated blanket so I can test out both of these together. Then I also have a chair I'm really excited to test out from Yeti. This is a bigger, heavier chair, but it has a lot of support and is really comfortable setting in. So I'm excited to try this out. Hopefully in this environment, it'll be nice and stable since we're kind of going to be setting on snow. And one more Gregory Mountain gear box with me here. Brought some fire starters. And these are some more Gregory Mountain packing cubes kind of, but they're stronger. In here, I've got the Beavercraft Bushcraft knife just in case I need it, and a couple of these Flextail Altask camping lanterns. They just set out like this. They're battery powered. You could run these for 3 or 4 days. So I'll show you what they look like when it gets a little bit darker. But they all fit in this little pack with a handle on top. And then I've got a larger pack in here. Same thing from Gregory Mountain. We've got inside here lots of good stuff. Our Magware cups and bowls, even our Magware silverware set. This is a really easy way to go. And I almost forgot, because we're not backpacking in, I brought the Yeti Rambler 24 here. We've got our food all chilling with these. I'm so excited to try to use these. I bought these, they're called Easy Freeze. This is not sponsored, but just something I bought that I thought looked cool. These are reusable ice cubes. This thing is completely full, so no wetness on our food here. Thought that would just be a different experience. We've got some hamburger patties for later, some bacon and sausage for the morning. So it's all cooling down in the Yeti, and we'll get to that a little bit later. All right, well, to me, this already looks like the coziest place. And look at this. Look, this is what I get to look out at. And as we're finishing up our setup here at the campsite, I just want to remind you that today's video is sponsored by eTrailer. Now, not only can you get great components like this tongue jack and some hitches and things to just make your camping experience possible, but you can also buy camping equipment like stoves and rooftop tents and sleeping bags and chairs at eTrailer. So if you're a camper, RV, or outdoorsman, make sure you check out eTrailer. I'll leave a link in the description below. Okay, we are all packed up and ready to go. I got a sandwich, I've got water, I've got my keys. Now we're ready to go. Let's jump out there and see what trail this is. Just again, I'm gonna talk about this the whole time I'm here, but look how beautiful this is. And with the snow, it's great. It's actually nice that the snow is covering some of the trail, because then we don't have as much mud. All right, so I've got all trails running, and I realized that I was mistaken. We were not all the way down here. We started out up here. That's the cross of the river right there. So we're already a good bit into the Park Loop Trail. We're gonna go up and go on the east side of the lake. Should be a really scenic view up here. I can already tell you, you got to pay attention to these trails because I've lost it already in about a quarter mile. So now we're walking up around the lake. I believe this is called Turkey Creek Lake, and some beautiful views. Everything is still frozen over out there, and you can kind of see the ridges and stuff behind it. So when we get up, I'm sure it'll look even better. I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera, but it's February and I'm already sweating. I've stripped down a layer. I've got my hoodie off and I'm already hot and sweaty. It's going to be a long summer if this is the standard, but so far I am about 25 minutes into this hike. We've gone a little over a mile, and I'm telling you, this place gives me real like upper Northwest vibes. If you want to stay in Ohio and want to look at some beautiful water inside some evergreens, I mean, this really does give me like Washington, Oregon vibes. It really has just kind of a panoramic view. These ridges, they're not quite the mountains of the West, but they are beautiful. And this time of year, nobody here, just kind of a glass lake in front of me. It's a beautiful spot. So you can kind of see we've come to the end of the lake here, and now we're going to turn around and loop all the way back around. And this was a pretty good hike. It wasn't that soggy, and honestly, it really wasn't that snowy. But the other side of the hill is the dark side of the moon. That hasn't seen any melt. So we're going to see a lot of snow over there, probably going to be a lot tougher going. So hopefully it's not as bad as it looks. Got to go down these stairs here. At least they don't have snow and ice on them. Why do I suddenly have to go to the bathroom? Okay, we get it. Hey. Sheesh. I'm so sorry, Canadian Chancellor, for trespassing on your lake. All right, so we've got a lot more snow cover on this side, but the views are gonna be better. I can tell you that. We're higher up on the ridge here, looking down, but we've got a lot of snow to contend with. It is slow going and kind of difficult to gain traction, so just take it slow. Says we are about 48 minutes in. We've gone a mile and a half, 1.6. We have 3.9 to go. Feeling pretty good, but it's about to get a lot harder. There seem to be a lot of portions of this hike that come down next to the water. In fact, according to my All Trails map, there were several on the other side that were literally underwater as this ice is melting and everything's kind of, it's like a mini flood. But I can imagine in the summer, this would be really cool because you're down here right on the water. And this water seems to have kind of a greenish blue tinge to it. I saw a sign that said, it's a specific type of algae. I don't think it's a good thing, but it at least gives the water a pretty color and glow, because in Ohio, we're just kind of used to water being brown. Okay, so this is a good time to talk about why we camp in the shoulder season. Look around me right now. I am completely alone in this beautiful place. I mean, look at this creek covered in snow. It's a little difficult. It keeps going between hot and cold and all sorts of different underfoot conditions, but this is the reason you go out in February, in March, in November, even in December, because there's just some really awesome scenery to be had, and you can do it pretty much all alone. I saw some people on the other side of the lake, like 2 or 3, but nobody over here on the snowy side with me. So all the cool kids are playing in the snow. I mean, just look at how beautiful this spot is. It's gonna be hard to find something that looks like this and honestly feels like this in the summer, because there's always gonna be people around, there's always gonna be other things happening. It's just busier in the summer, but this is kind of a gift to get to come out during this time of the year and hike these trails, see these things, listen to these sounds. Just so cool. We may have made a mistake. About a quarter mile down that trail, which is straight downhill, level with the lake, there was an option to split off and go back to the campground. We've done about 3 miles, and that would have been about 3 1/4 total. Now I've committed to the full 5 and have been hiking straight up this hill for the last 10 minutes. Now sweating, and I'm committed, and I'm already put my hoodie back on, and I'm hot. So there's really nothing left to do other than continue to hike straight up another 2.8 miles. I mean, I'm assuming at some point it will go down, but this is what trail regret looks like. If you're still watching and you've ever had trail regret, leave me a comment down below. Will it ever end? This is like a 20% grade. All right, I think it was worth it. I mean, look at that view. It's kind of hard to see from here, but that view of the lake, that's pretty incredible. I believe this is the tippy top. You're not gonna get that view unless you climb that hill. So I'm just gonna sit here and chill out for a few minutes, and then I'll continue on. You can go on. I'll catch up in a minute. Okay, I was wrong. We were not done climbing, but this is gorgeous. And I'm gonna tell you right now, you can't get these views in the summer. I can see all the way down where I crossed that bridge down in the valley with all the snow and the streams. I can see, or could see, the lake on that side. My watch, as my breath catches up, my watch says I've climbed 700 feet of total elevation, but before we started up this hill, I was at like 150. So I've done 500 plus 550 in the last like half mile. So pretty straight up toward the end of this hike. It was marked moderate, and I would say pretty moderate without snow, a little more difficult with snow. We have just a bit left, a little less than 2 miles. The sun is out now. We've got about 3 hours until sunset, so we're in good shape. I will just meet you back at the campsite and not subject you to any more heavy breathing. Did I mention I need to get in better shape for the summer? And I think now we are truly at the top of the hill, of the ridge. You can see down there, that is the entrance to the dam. And right about there is where we started the loop around the lake. And here we are at the top of the hill. It's just a gorgeous view when you can see through the trees. In the summer, you probably won't be able to see any of that, but right now we got a great view. And that brings us to my favorite part of every single hike, the downhill. So I know we're getting closer to the campsite because I can hear our little creek or river, whatever you want to call it. And we are coming into this like thicket of evergreens. I don't know if these kind of look like cedar trees to me, but this is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look down there. You can see our little river that runs right next to the campsite. And this has got to be the most gorgeous part of this park, this little area right over here by Turkey Creek campsite. I think this is maybe Turkey Creek, but with the snow this time of year, I mean, I'm basically in short sleeves. I'm in snow. I've kind of got this northwestern, Pacific Northwestern vibe, but I'm right here in Ohio. That's really cool. And as we come around the bend here on the trail, I see something familiar. What do you know? It's that perfectly chosen campsite. There we are, right there. So just taking a look at the stats on this trail, we did 4.1 total miles, 712 feet of elevation gain. Total time for our hike was 2 hours and 3 minutes. But I think that was a really fun hike. Again, that was the Park Loop Trail, and we started here at the Turkey Creek Campground, and it brought us right back to where we started, which is normally what a loop does. This fat wood works like a charm every single time. I've started buying this on Amazon a couple years ago, using it in my home fireplace, and now campfires because it's better than a fire starter. This is all natural, and it's just pine that is soaked in resin. It comes from the core of the pine, I believe. So check it out, fat wood, and it's an easy way to start campfires. Okay, it's time to start prepping dinner, and like I mentioned earlier, this grill right here is going to be our featured product for this video. Thank you to our sponsor eTrailer for hooking us up with this grill so we could test it out. This is from Cadac, or Cadac, I don't know how you say it, C-A-D-A-C, and I wanted to test it out because it's really an all-in-one grill. You can do almost everything with it, and all you have to do is add propane. So you saw that it all fit into that little bag. That was pretty cool. And it's kind of a little shell design. So you've got this front with some feet down here. The lid goes on top. That's pretty cool. Then on the side, there is a quick connect, and it's set up for, it kind of comes with this connect for the little green bottles. So it just plugs in there, and then we will screw our little green bottle in there. Now we can take the lid off, and tonight we're going to cook some burgers on this ceramic grill top, but it also has this this burner supporter that goes over top this burner. Tomorrow morning for breakfast, we're going to use cast iron to cook some bacon and sausage down here. So you can keep that down there for storage and for use. And we're going to cook our burgers right here on top. So let me get the propane and let's get that going. Now, I believe you can also use a different adapter. They give you a couple to connect a larger tank, but for this purpose, we're going to show you how to use this. So all we're going to do is pretty simple, just thread this in here until we hear the hiss. Nice. So to start it, all we're going to do is turn. There we go, a couple turns. And then obviously you can control load high. We're going to keep it on high to get our griddle warm. So let's go ahead and place that back over here. And for now, place the lid on here. Now it does have a thermometer on it as well. Good for trapping in that heat and some of that steam to get juicy burgers and chicken and things like that. Okay, so I'm really excited to show you what I have today. This is something that I'm really proud of. I didn't do all the hard work, but right here I have a venison patty that was harvested from our property here in Ohio. So my brother's the hunter of the family. He harvested this deer for us. We processed it locally, and we made this patty just by mixing some breadcrumbs in with some Worcestershire sauce and some egg. And so we've got about a 1/4 pound patty here we're gonna smash down into there. I've got some bacon and sausage for the morning, but I'm gonna steal a strip of bacon for my burger tonight. Some cheddar cheese. Got some seasoning here. This is just salt, pepper, and garlic powder, and then some cooking oil here. So I can feel we're kind of getting up the temperature. Let's go ahead and get this lid off for a second. Put some oil on here to kind of get things started. There we go. And I'm a little unlevel. I already see that. So should have thought of that before I crank things up. I did already wash my hands. Not that it matters, it's just me. I don't want to offend myself. So I've got this nice venison patty here. I'm gonna spread it out and always like depress the center. I don't know why, but I've heard better chefs than me say you should do that on these patties. Depress the center. We're gonna stick it on there. Oh yeah, that's gonna be great. Can already smell it. I'm gonna take a strip of bacon. We don't need that much for the morning. And this will be great on my burger as well. Need to go ahead and put some seasoning on my burger. Just a little bit. There we go. Looking good. I forgot that we have a long bun tonight, so I'm trying to elongate my patty to fit the bun a little bit. Our bacon is about done. Go ahead and flip this burger. Whoa, almost ran away. Oh yeah, this ceramic top is non-stick to say the least. Nothing's sticking to it. And I'm gonna go ahead and stick my bun in here and soak up some bacon grease. Toast that up a little bit. Maybe steam it for just a minute. All right, I'm gonna get this bacon off of here. Let it rest. We're here on the plate. Check our buns. Oh yeah. I like my buns a little toasty. I'm gonna melt some cheese on here. So got some cheddar. I'm gonna go ahead and split it. Just kind of go, well, maybe I don't need to. I could have left it alone. Now it's split. We'll let that melt. Okay, I feel like that. Oh, that looks beautiful. Buns are toasty. Soaked up bacon grease. Look at this. Look at this. There we go. Set our bacon right on top. Just missing a bit of ketchup here. Oh boy. Smash it down. I am ready to eat that. Add fizzy beverage of choice. And we are ready to go. Man, I feel like that cooked really quick. That ceramic top, no stick. I mean, that thing has no residue. I'll show it to you, but I'm gonna finish this first. So that's test one for the Citi Chef. We've got breakfast in the morning, and I'll leave a link in the description below for those of you that wanna check it out. This summer, we're gonna be trying out a lot of different cooking methods, propane, charcoal, wood, a lot of different things, but this is so quick and easy. I thought this is a great place to start. Small, fit right in the camp box. Came out, was hot within 5 minutes. Cooked this burger in, 7 to 10 minutes, start to finish. I got no complaints. I mean, it worked really well. Well, the sun is gone and the temperature is dropping, but this fire is warm for now. So I'm going to spend a few more minutes out here, get myself cleaned up, get in my tent for the evening. And then we've got some fun festivities for the morning. So now would be a good time for you to subscribe if you're not already. More adventures like this coming this summer. So make sure you stick around and hopefully you'll see some warmer weather. Well, really a pretty good night. I mean, didn't get cold. I saw that it did dip down into the low 40s, which I kind of expected based on this little valley I'm in down here near the water. None of the snow had melted, so shady, a little bit colder, but that was fine. I was nice and warm in there. Other than my head, I forgot a head covering. Should have thought about that, but started a little fire this morning to warm up, and then I'm going to cook some breakfast, a little caveman style breakfast, just sausage and bacon. I had some eggs laid out and totally forgot those. So we're going to use a little cast iron skillet on the Citi chef and see how it goes second time around. Gosh. All right, we've got some sausage and bacon, and we've got our cast iron skillet. Add propane. Light it up. There we go. Stick this thing on here and get it warm. A little avocado oil. Just a little bit of bacon. Why not? Maybe a mess, but I think it's done, and that is going to taste great sitting in front of a campfire. I mean, everything always tastes better right here. So overall, I'm pretty impressed with the Citi chef. I mean, it's definitely a quick and easy way to do cooking at the campsite. I like that it has this setup for a cast iron skillet or a pot, and it's also kind of wind protected. You might be asking, why not just get a can or a canister of butane or something and get one of those little jet boils? Certainly a possibility, but you're exposed to the wind. This has a lot of protection from the wind. We were pretty gusty this morning and had no problem cooking on that skillet. And then you can also put the griddle on top for steaks. It's just much quicker and easier, kind of a dual solution. I like that I can hook a bigger propane tank on there if I want, but also the little one. So I'm going to leave a link in the description if you're interested in this. I think it's a solid option for anybody looking for a quick and easy way to cook at the campsite. Well, we pretty much timed that perfectly. As I was packing things up, it started to rain. We had some great weather while we were here though. Again, this is Shawnee State Park and I was at the Turkey Creek Campground. This is a place I will likely come back to in the summer. It was that impressive. But if you're still watching to this part of the video, then you should definitely be subscribed. We're gonna have more camping adventures like this coming out, with even bigger trips coming. Man, we've got some really cool stuff. I can't announce it quite yet, but specifically one really big thing that you're not gonna wanna miss that involves basically DIYing your own camping experience. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Every week I'm gonna bring you great content like this about camping, RVing, and the outdoors. You don't wanna miss it. Again, thanks to eTrailer for sponsoring this video. I'll leave links in the description to them and all the gear that we used in this camping trip. As always, my name is Joel. This is the Traveler Toolkit, and I'll see you in the next video. Woo!